Okay, so we are back. And I did each row of each string once. So like I showed how I designed this one, it's making thick stripes. And then once you get probably to your second color, these start to kind of spread out naturally like this, so that way it's easier to work with them. I'm gonna do a little bit more on here for you guys to see, and then we will call it, because this is a very simple bracelet. Like I was saying before, it just requires you to go forward knots, and because of how you're doing it, they work kind of at an angle. And then there we go. I will come back at the end with a fast forward of doing another one like this, but instead of having the double rows like I'm doing right now, the double rows of each color, I'm going to do single rows with maybe one double row. So what I'm doing right now that you're seeing is I'm making sure these are nice and tight. I'm just taking my time so you can watch how it progresses. And like I said, I will put a clip here in a moment of a different bracelet, still doing the candy stripe, and making it so you can see how that develops when it's not the double coloring. But this is only the forward knot, so if you're not comfortable going back and forth with forward and backward like with the chevron, this is a good way to just get used to making the forward knot over and over and making passes over different colored strings to make a pattern. The next tutorial I'm going to show will be of the zipper, and the zipper actually has you use the forward and backwards knot, but because of how it's done, it's kind of a great way to get used to doing the backwards knot, especially if you're wanting to make that chevron that I did in a tutorial a couple times ago. So there we go. That started. I'll come back with a fast forward video, and then you'll see a quick little snippet of this finished with me braiding it off. we're back. You've seen this one get made really fast. And then you've seen me working on this one. This one's now done and tied off. And I was going to show you, since I hadn't done it yet, one of the many ways you can do the ends. So if you have an odd number, I have found sometimes it's easy, odd number of threads, it's easier to just twist them. Let's see, I have one that's twisted. That's braided. Oh, and these are done with the adjustable loop. Oh, sorry, couldn't even see that. Adjustable loop. So it always stays in a circle, like ready for your arm, but you adjust it out. And then just pull, and then it's tightened, which is really nice. It's great for if you don't know the size of the person's wrist. But if this gets wet, that can get really tight on someone's arm and they can't move the thread until it's dried. And I know that sometimes that can freak people out. I have one over here. It's not a candy stripe one, but it does have the twists. So you can do that. Just twist it really tight and then tie it off at the end for however long you want the thread to be. Because this one is an even number, sometimes what you see is 2 braids coming off each end, which is what I'm going to do with this one today. I gotta pull that a little further back. There. Okay, there we go. So I broke it up into 3s, and then I'm just gonna braid it like you would normally braid hair or whatever else. You do want to kind of braid it as tight as you can without, I mean, like, don't strain yourself, but you want to make it a nice tight braid so it stays secured and in place. Another way you could do it, if you don't want it to be too like this, you can break up, with it being even, into 2s. So I can keep going like this, and then I would do the same over here, or you can unravel it. And especially if you're new to this, or you think that the 2 would be a little annoying, the 2 is a good way to break it up if you have a lot of threads. That's going to take me a second. Okay, so that's all loosened up now. So if you have 3, like this one's perfect to just braid it because there's 3 colors. I can separate it by color, so I have 2 threads for each. And then I can just braid that. Which you can just braid these together to make a friendship bracelet too, like the whole thing. I have done that once before, and it's a nice little add a different design if you're having a whole bunch on your arm type of thing. Some people like doing the braids for them. It is an easy, it also makes it so you can make a friendship bracelet without having to know the knots if you're struggling with the knots. But with this, you just kind of make it as long as you want. You want to have some decent length on the string, the tie part, which would be this, so that way who's ever the wearer has plenty to use to tie with, to put it on. That's probably good. So now I'm gonna knot it off. Oh, that one didn't go in. You need to check, make sure all the threads go into your knot, otherwise they'll look a little off or feel off. There. Didn't quite make it through all of them, but there. And then get your scissors and boom. And then I'll do the same to the other side. And then it can get tied. So this is your candy stripe. It's all forward knots. And as I showed you, you can do the double thick with lots of colors. The more colors you add, the wider it is. You can do it with single and double for the color. And here's another one that kind of did that. And then I made it kind of a pattern with that one. And those are all I have here on my desk. So the next one I'm going to do is the zipper, which will look like this. And this is a great one to get you used to doing both the forward knot and the backward knot, because they go back and forth. So keep a lookout for that. I will try to be getting that up soon, since this one is your Friday, but it took a while to get to this. So if you have any questions, let me know. Like, subscribe. If you want to see me just focus on doing the tails in an episode, let me know. Like, I have that in the plans, but I'll do it sooner if there's desire for it right now.